Hi and welcome back. Recently, I did a video on how to successfully grow the sugar apple here in SoCal. Three options: the heated greenhouse, in a pot, in and out in the winter, and then just the third option is to plant it outdoor and just be smart about it and to deal with the elements. Just be smart about it. So there is one other options that you guys may be thinking of, and that is grafting. Can I graft this onto another rootstock to better handle the local environment? And so as you guys know, the atemoya here is always a grafted tree. It's always grafted onto the cherimoya. The reason is that the cherimoya is native here in SoCal, in around this area, so it can handle the environment better. So it is always grafted onto a cherimoya rootstock, so it can thrive better. So can I graft the sugar apple onto a cherimoya rootstock or an atemoya rootstock? Well, that is exactly what I did for the past 5 or 6 months. However, I don't have conclusive evidence yet, so that was why I did not share it on the previous video. But I want to show you guys the progress that I have made. So to begin with, if when picking a rootstock, you want to pick something closely related to it, so it can have a higher chance of success, and that is the atemoyas. The atemoyas is a hybrid between a sugar apple and a cherimoya, so it makes sense to start with the atemoyas. So let's take a look at the progress for the past 5 or 6 months, and you guys can decide for yourself whether there is any hope in doing this. Okay, on to the first graph. This is my PPC atemoya, and I have one sugar apple scion grafted here. So this is the one right here. So nice and beautiful, right? This is all new growth here for the past 5 or 6 months. However, I don't see any buzz yet, so it's growing nice. Is beautiful. But if you look closely, let's take a look. Let's look closely. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. So this is the graft joint. As you can see, this is 5 or 6 months old, and the graft joint hasn't healed completely. If you look at the skin, it doesn't seem to want to heal. If we look here, if this tree is an atemoya, so it is grafted. So this is right here. This is the, let me see. So the graft joint is right here. See, this is the graft joint. You see how the outside skin heals completely like this, versus versus the sugar apple onto an atemoya. Not so much, right? So I am not sure if it can take this successfully. So given this is only September, it has not gone through a winter yet. So I don't know. And this is the side of the house where it is very well protected from the wind and the cold, and it is against the wall. So there's a lot of heat, a lot of residual heat as well after the sun has already set. So let's go take a look at another scion that I grafted onto a African pride. Okay, so this is the second scion that I have grafted onto my African pride. Similar, same thing as the other side. New growth, new leaves, but not kind of slow. But as you can see, if we look at the graft joint here, look at that. Look at that. It is, the skin, it doesn't seem to heal completely. It doesn't seem like it wants to heal. So I'm not sure if this thing will work out, but we'll see. It will go through a winter here in SoCal this coming winter. So I'll post updates, comes next year, or during the winter, to see if it can heal properly. As you can see, this is definitely an atemoya. This is my African pride. So this is a sugar apple. You can tell by the leaves, right? So you can tell by the leaves. So you know, so this for sure is a sugar apple. So let's take a look at another graph here on an atemoya for you guys to see what I'm talking about, where the graph joint. So right here, this is my PPC grafted onto a Gaffner, and if we look here, this is almost grafted at the same time as the sugar apple, and look at the joint right there. See that the skin heals nicely, flush, everything is sealed off and like exposed on the the sugar apple. So and I have fruit already, just one season, and I have two fruits. I could have said more, but as you can see, the the branch is kind of flimsy and it's kind of hanging down. These guys are going to get really big. I got a little bit too ambitious here. I got too happy here, too excited. So I might have to end up tying this to something to keep this up and not so the branch won't snap. But let's go look at let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's take a look at the joint. So it is not healing completely the skin, the outside skin, but at least the inside took, because as you guys can see, the graft is the skin is still alive and we got new growth. So it's making progress, but I'm just afraid that it's not going to do much. So there you have it. The graft took. However, it is not 100% because of the skin. It hasn't healed completely yet, in my opinion. So we will have to wait and see, and we will have to wait and see how well it can survive the winter here in SoCal this coming winter. So I'll keep you guys posted as as the progress goes on. So if you want to stay up to date with me and my progress, please subscribe to the channel or just stay up to date with me and my garden in general. Thank you and have a good day, and I'll see you on the next video.